Alright, welcome in. Today I'm going to go over how to create a survey with Zoho Survey. Okay, so we're just going to do this. We're going to create a survey name. So say I want to send a customer satisfaction survey upon delivery. Okay, so that's going to be the very first one there. There's different categories. I'm just going to create from scratch. Okay, I want to make this a really simple survey, but I do want to review the different fields with you. So you have your multiple choice, your drop downs, your image selection. You can add a ranking, a Boolean. You can do a bunch of different cool things. You just get information with short and long answers, numbers, text boxes, and the like. For me, all I want to do is collect their full name. Okay, and I'm going to make this as mandatory. I want to collect their email, and I want to collect out of 5 stars. How did we do? Okay, and you can edit the number of stars here, and I want to make this mandatory as well. Okay. If you have a lot of questions and it just kind of seems overwhelming, you could create another page by doing this, and you fill it out, and then you basically just create another page just like this, and whenever you fill this out, it'll give you a next button, and you just go to next. It's that easy. Okay, if you do want to style your different, or you want to create a display logic, sorry, not style. Let's say you don't want to see you don't want your customers to see the email field until they have filled out your first name and last name for whatever reason. You could come on here, click display logic, and hide this question if a certain condition is met, or display this question if a certain condition is met. We're going to click on that. So we only want this to be displayed when first name is answered and our last name is answered. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and hit save there. That all looks really good to me. Okay. And then actually let's also add a signature. Okay, just so we can see how this works. Awesome. That looks great. Okay. Let's go over to settings and we'll review these. Okay, so you could edit your header by adding a logo, use a survey name, use specific text. So I don't want this really long survey name, but I want to know exactly what the survey is when I'm looking at it. So I'm going to use I'm going to use specific text. Go ahead and save that. So you can add a footer. Right now it's just going to be that default Zoho survey footer. You can add preferences. So let's say we want to enable CAPTCHA. Instead of submit, we want to say send. You could generate a public link for each individual response. So anytime anyone answers your survey, if you want to review that survey, say with an external team or your team, it'll create a link, and then you can send that link out to whoever you would like. You can generate public links to download the signature and file upload responses if you need to save that somewhere. Languages, you could just select your language here. You could create an introduction page, so this will be the page before your actual survey, where you could kind of give a little bit more information on what your survey is. Create a terms and conditions. You could set a timer that will only allow your customers or your employees to spend a certain amount of time on a survey, make it a little bit fun. Save and continue later. So if you have a little bit of a longer survey, you can then make this, like if you have 50 questions that you send out to your employees, knowing that only like 25% of them are going to finish the survey in a sitting, you can do this. That way they could, fill out 10, go back later, and so on. Survey quota, I'm not going to go into these quotas, but essentially it's just limiting the number of responses from maybe everybody, some people, or it's going to be conditional. Survey end page, this is just after you submit the survey, what's going to be displayed there. Your survey over quota page, so say you've reached the number of surveys you would like and you no longer need any more, you can just send this off whenever they try opening the survey. If for whatever reason they need to be disqualified, so say you send this survey off to your customers that have gone to your website within the last 100 days, however it's taken a customer 50 days to go to the survey, but by that time they haven't gone to the website within 100 days, you can then just disqualify them. Okay, this just allows nobody to edit the response. This just allows you to configure IP restrictions, meaning if you only want like your employees to be able to answer the survey from, let's say, your office building or your location, you could do this, and that way if they try doing it at home, it'll give them this message. Once you've closed the survey, you could send this off, so if people try filling out the survey, 5 years after the fact, you could just have this enabled. Okay, themes. This is just very basic. You can, create your own basic theme. And then you can see it under My Theme, so you could reuse that again. For me, I'm just going to pick one, and I'll go ahead and apply that. Hub, you can send your responses to different locations, so your Zoho CRM. So if you're sending this off to all of your leads, your contacts, your accounts, whatever, you can then just attach this survey response to their contact, lead, or account. Trigger, after they've submitted the survey, you can trigger an email saying, whatever you'd like, give them another survey to fill out, whatever you'd like to do there. You can trigger a function, so set up a deluge script that will run. You can send off a webhook, possibly to Zoho Flow to do some kind of action, whatever you'd like to do there. And then you can also integrate your different analytics. So typically from Google or Facebook, if you put this survey in one of those three, you can go ahead and integrate that in. For me, I'm just going to go ahead and launch this right off the bat. We're going to publish it. Okay, that looks great. So let's see, access online. Here's my link. Offline. Okay, gather feedback even when there's no internet access. What you need is you can add a password, a kiosk mode, and an auto upload. Typically, if somebody's offline, they're not going to fill out a survey. I wouldn't worry about this too much, but if this is the case, this is the page for you. You could send out a QR code where you can just download that and apply it to your different files. You can buy responses. Okay, if you've configured your email and SMS and you've upgraded, right now I'm just on the free version, you can use this to distribute. You could use Zoho Campaigns or Mailchimp to distribute your survey. You could use Facebook. You can generate unique URLs, which we kind of already talked about here. You could send this off in an inline email. An inline email just means the survey is not going to be, showed up as a PDF or anything like that. It's going to show up as a normal email and just kind of styled nicely. If you're going to insert into your website, you can configure these different details here, and then this is the little snippet you would then add to your code. You can also insert the snippet to typically like WordPress, Zoho sites, Zoho e-commerce. You can change the visibility as you'd like, quota. Okay, so I think we've kind of gone through everything. Let's go ahead and try this out ourselves. So I have my link. This is our survey we just created, okay? So as you know, there is another email field here, but it's not going to show up until I have filled out this information here. Oh, there it is. Okay, so perfect. This is a 5 stars. I'm going to go ahead and just sign. Beautiful. Okay, submit. And this is the default thank you page, right? Because I didn't configure one myself. And that is Zoho survey in a nutshell. Let's just come back here and we can go look at auto logs. And then you can see a new response has been collected when I started, how I filled out everything, okay? Or this is whenever I created the survey, sorry. This is where you could look at reports, but this is where you could see when somebody publishes a response, okay? If you could just click on that response link, you could then just look at exactly what was filled out. That all looks great. But that in a nutshell is Zoho survey. I hope you learned something. If you did, please like and subscribe. I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook, but primarily YouTube. I also have a Zoho One suite course coming out later this year. It's going to include trainings from every single Zoho One application, so that's 40 plus applications. That's over, 50 to 100 hours, somewhere in there. I haven't completed. I'm already at that 50 mark. So please, I'm going to send, I have a QR code that's going to come out. I have a QR code that's going to be following this YouTube video. just please go ahead and scan that and sign up, and I'm excited to see you later. Have a good one.